This was a busy week. Let's get to it. So the first thing I did was to unsubdivide my mesh. As you can see here, the poly count is much smaller. All I did was go into Edge, unsubdivide, but you'll notice when I do that, you can see here, I started to get some triangles instead of quads. Control Z that. And so here around the eyes, I had some issues. And so what I decided to do was go back to an earlier version, version 26, before I started to subdivide it, and basically take a giant step backwards to move forwards. Let me show you. So this is me taking version 26 and turning it into version 43. I like my poly count here. The eyes now have quads all around it. Still need to do some work on smoothing this out. But that's what I did. I went backwards to move forwards, and that's why I save versions of my bear. So by the end of the week, this is where I was. I was on version 59. I had generated my rig again. I had even added bones for my bow. Still got some issues there with some hierarchies, but I will get to that later. So this is working out pretty well. I had smoothed out everything around the eyes. I had created eyelids for my bear, so I was super happy about that. And this was generally looking pretty good. But then I ran into one issue here, which I will show you. Taking the head and tilting it way back. Look, there is a spike coming out of the bear's chin there. This rig has a tongue inside of it, and I had a hard time trying to figure out how to weight paint that tongue or add no weights to it. And no matter what I did, weird things would happen. You can see stuff going on under here. So I still have a lot of weight painting issues with the bear when I move stuff around. And that's something I'm going to have to figure out. I'm not great at this weight painting, but jack of all trades, master of none. So I will try and figure out how to do this. But I will show you one test render I did that I was super happy with. So here's a little close-up test render of the bear with got a little snarl going on there. The brows are furrowed. I'll have to do some grooming of the fur around the eyes, but I like the way this is looking because a lot of this short is going to be close-ups of the bear and facial expression. So I really want it to be really well weight painted around the eyes and everything. So that's something I got to work on. And then I've got to figure out that spike through the chin. So that's where I'm headed next.
I'll be back next week with the full report. I'll see you then.